to file. Now we need to discuss is when and how, in what form, to actually give money. So far we dealt with this cryptic word, usually estimated duties attached. But really, we try to give no definition to this one. So what form, how do you do that, and what is the process of doing that is subject to the discussion. So it all starts from this box, actually from this line of boxes. This is a CBP form 7501, and the form provides the totals. They have the duty, then they have the tax, they have the other, which would be probably the fees, not probably, this would be the fees, and you have a total line. So in other words, it's kind of like the form that you pay taxes on, your internal revenue, personal taxes, except this is done not with IRS but with customs, which have their own accounting procedure. It's told that the presidential proclamation, okay, buzzword, presidential proclamation. Remember, the duty rates are the duty rates that are in effect during time of entry or when the president says so. Remember? Executive order. So presidential proclamation is kind of like, it's not really executive order, because executive order is, I think there is a different wording for that, but it has the equivalent effect. So president says that within the next 30 days the merchandise would go down from 10% to 5%. 10% now will go to 5%. So Tom brings the goods on April 5th. Notice, we asked to identify correct statement. Sometimes customs examiners say which one is not correct. So Tom brings products on 4/5, puts them on IT, immediate delivery, special permit for immediate delivery, on April 6th, the president signs in the proclamation. On April 8th, 4/8, entry summary is filed. What do we know about special permit for immediate delivery? The date of entry is the date when 7501 is filed. When is it filed? On 4/8. When the president signs the document? On April 6th. I think customs examiners are trying to suggest that on 4/6 the duty rate went down to 5%. So this means what? This means Tom's merchandise subject to 5% rate of duty. Remember I said I think customs is saying that. The reason I say I think, because it presumes that presidential proclamation is not retroactive. Alcohol. So alcohol is the same type of program by IRS, which allows to arrange payment of IRS to IRS at a later time. Recall that the entry documentation, so this is 7501 entry summary, has a special tax in the box. So this is the box we're talking, not the duty box, but the taxes box, all right? Because customs collects monies on behalf of IRS as well. All right, what about US federal government entries? Remember the stipulation we talked about? Remember, we talked about government entries before. What did we say about government entries? That remember when I drew this line, state, federal, and federal sometimes is exempt, sometimes not. If it is exempt, well, here we're not talking even talking about exemption. Here we're assuming it's not exempt. So pay duties when, well, later. You can bring stuff in and you'll get the bill later, knowing that there is a deliberation period for 142.22. I want to see what kind of thoughts took place between the government agency and the public, importers, transportation companies, to make sure that this is a text that it is. What kind of concerns were there? So where do I look for this? I recall this bracketed portion. What's that? That's a history of, because this is a regulation, and as the world changes, the regulations changes. They're constantly going through the modification, updates, etc., etc. So one logical thing to do is to look how it was changing. So okay, where do I look? Well, probably the most recent change would be a good starting point. When was the most recent change? June 2006. And okay, so June 2nd, 2006, where do I look? Well, here is the text. What is the for? Federal Register. What is Federal Register? It's a government publication, government book, which publishes all open government, all events that take place within the federal government. How is this tested on the exam? Well, CBP will not reject entry summary for the total because fill in the blank. So it's a fill in the blank type of situation. Notice, will not reject. So the situation is as follows. So you have 4 situations. A, B, C, D, E. You have 4 situations where rejection is likely, rejection. In 1 situation, no rejection. So you figure it out. Block 39 CBP 7501 is missing. What's block 39? Block 39, not filled out. Block 39 is a fee summary. So if you have to pay merchandise processing fee, if you have to pay harbor maintenance fee, and you decided not to pay it, then customs is likely say, you know what, you haven't done your homework.